Well, good afternoon. The date today is the 28th of the 7th, 2015, and the time is approximately 14:20 p.m. This is a recording of a professional discussion for Mr. Timothy Acton for his NVQ in plastering, the full solid. The unit credits are 641, 642, 643, 66 and 67, with optional units 71 and 65. Welcome, Tim. Can you please confirm your full name and date of birth?
Hello Roger, my name is Tim Acton and I was born 15th of the 8th, 1972.
Excellent, thank you for that. The purpose of this discussion is to confirm to me that you have the knowledge and skills to be awarded the MVQ qualification. So Tim, can you talk me through the various types of work you've completed, ideally from the start, like how you received the instructions, assessed the materials and resources needed, and how the works were carried out. So over to you, Tim, regarding the external render you were talking about earlier. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah, I do. Well, I remember it well. I approached the client, although the client approached me about the job. I went round to have a look and see what we were up against. It immediately appeared to me that the frost had got behind the original existing render and needed to be removed. So that was the first thing to think about. Once that was done, I measured up the area that we had to repair. It was one full side to the house, and then going round a corner, it was also blown as well.
Right.
So I measured up the square meterage,
right,
to work out how much sand and cement I'd need.
Mm-hmm.
I then did took a lump hammer and a cold chisel, just knocked a little bit of the render off just to see what was underneath.
Well, that's a good idea, to make sure the surface was...
Well, to make sure the surface was sand underneath,
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily damp or didn't have anything behind it which I would have had to have treated first.
Good, yeah.
And also to assess what the brickwork was like, because whether it needed pointing up or, because it may well have been rendered in the first place to
and see
to
what
hide
type
below
of
the
key you
ceilings.
had there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so that was so I did that, and it appeared that the brickwork was sound, was fairly good, but they were common bricks. So I decided that I would probably need to treat them with some SBR first in order to get a good adhesion between the render and the brickwork.
Right. Is that a common thing to do, do you think?
Yeah, it's depending on when and how. If you've got damp brickwork or you've got problems with damp, then probably it would be the idea would be obviously to let the wall breathe first, or maybe think about using a lime render or something else.
And common bricks that is a failure with common bricks. You tend to get a surface distress, which means they won't key very well. Face bricks, engineering bricks, ordinary bricks have not got a natural key, but common bricks got something with them. They tend to get a surface, you don't get good key. So
absolutely, yeah, it's very difficult to stick to. So that was that was the assumption. So after that, and then I assessed what scaffolding I'd need.
Good, yeah.
Because we, obviously it was right up to the fascia.
Right, yeah.
So we were going to need two standard lifts of scaffolding. So I was going to have to include that in the price.
Would that have been an independent scaffold or fixed to the building?
That would have been. Well, how do you mean? What would an independent scaffolding? Well, that would have been built that was away from the
away from the wall. It wasn't
sorry,
touching the structure.
So that was that was what I decided to go for, and then. Well, I also had to think then about waste disposal, what I was going to do about that. It was, so I elected to get a general waste skip for which I could put timber and general rubble into that. So that was also looked into. Power, water, where I was going to set my mixer up, what protection I needed to provide for the client's property.
What sort of power would you have needed?
Just a 240-volt supply for a 110 transformer, just for a standard mixer.
Yeah, okay.
Just a bell mixer.
Yeah.
And just a water supply, from somewhere where I could fill a water butt,
Yeah.
and have and then mixing boards to mix up on to protect the driveway, and sheeting along underneath the scaffolding.
Right, yeah, good.
So, yeah, so all that was taken into account. And
were there any security issues, i.e. regarding the house, or dogs in the garden that wanted to escape or anything like that?
Well, no pets, but there were children in the surrounding vicinity, so we decided that we'd take away the ladder, which was going up onto the scaffolding each evening. But try and make sure that obviously there were no tools left out and stuff like that. So the site was cleared away every day and put back in every night.
Right, good.
Obviously our tools and that was stored in the garage and
kept secure.
Kept secure. Yeah.
Good.
So that was it really. There were no other security issues I could see.
Fine. Good.
So the client said that we were able to use the toilet, so anyone else who was working with me was taken care of as far as that was concerned. And
so you had welfare facilities.
So that was and washing and all that side of things was all taken care of there. The client was quite happy for us to use their facilities.
Did you have to discuss the type of finish for the render was going out?
We did. It was elected to go for a smooth render.
Right.
So it's just a plain rubbed up finish.
When you said plain rubbed up, can you explain that to me?
Plain rubbed up is it's basically washed building sand.
Right.
Used in the mix. And as for the top coat, for the first coat, I elected to use sharp sand to give me a bit more strength. Go over the top with the building sand. Wait for it to go off at a certain point, and then you can rub up with a cross grain float.
When you say building sand, is that a special sand you use for rendering?
What's that? Sorry.
When you say building sand.
Well, it's washed building sand, so to take out any of the impurities and any of the mud and that which will stop it shrinkage, which will stop obviously help with the cracking.
Right.
So
how did you finish around the windows and the?
Around the windows we used external stainless steel beading.
Right.
2 coat beads, some standard beads, standard beads on that corner, and then along the bottom and above the window and the door, we used a drip bead to bring the water out from.
So like a bell.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Brilliant. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So that was all fairly straightforward, really, as far as that was concerned.
And the job went well?
Yeah, the job went fine.
Did you have to protect it against bad weather?
It wasn't bad weather actually. It was sunny weather, which was the problem.
Right.
So we, in the end, we sprayed it first with water, and then hung a sheet in front of it to protect it from the sun, to stop it from. You obviously have to leave it, to cure properly.
Right.
And if it dries too fast, then it will crack and it's not good for it. So. So we did that and then fed it with water just to try and so it didn't go off too quickly. I did that both with the scratch and the top coat. So I had to go back in the evening and spray it up with it.
So it was time.
It was a time thing, but it's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, So you did a smooth finish on that particular render job.
Yes.
Well, so what other finishes are there liable you can use on an external render?
Well, you could do I could do a wet dash.
Right.
I could do Tyrolean, I could do ashlar, I could do.
So there are quite a few.
Yeah, there are lots and lots of different types of finishes that we can do, all of which we're capable of doing, or I'm capable of doing, and have done in the past.
Right.
Although I find the dry dashing and the wet dashing is particularly messy.
They are very messy.
So,
a lot of wastage.
A lot of waste. Very hard to match as well. If you're doing if you're matching up to another piece, getting the same size stones and making sure that that it looks similar. It's very hard to do, but
So the job went well. So what sort of documents would you have needed on that job? Did you have to get a highways licence for the skip at all?
No, that was fine. That was on their private drive, so that was okay.
So there was no documentation.
That was all right. No, we won't.
Were there any sort of building regulations or anything you had to apply to or not?
No, not in this instance. It wasn't a listed building or anything like that, so we didn't have to comply to any of that.
Important thing to be aware of.
It was just the client just wanted the finish to go back to as it was.
Good.
So, or us to put it back as it was. So, which is what we did.
Okay, so it was generally just an estimate really, and then a final invoice.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we obviously kept all of the delivery notes and everything, from the drivers and all that sort of stuff. As evidence for the client if they were to question the price.
Fine.
And
did Did your client need to see your public liability insurance?
Yeah, they asked to see that,
That's a good thing.
I presented that to them. I had that in my portfolio, which I showed them in instance of previous work that I'd done.
Right.
So, you know, they were interested to see what we'd done as a firm and whether we were, you know, and I like to show them as well because it gives them an idea.
And shows confidence.
And that certificate is in that folder as well to put their mind at rest that we are bona fide.
Brilliant. Well done, Tim. That sounds good. You've certainly got a good way of expressing what you've done there, explaining it clearly and concisely. The job went well. No problems.
No problems at all. No, it was absolutely fine.
Okay, that's great.